It's 5 reasons why I love you and none of them rhyme. 9 times 9, 81, Bonnie and Clyde. We got high and sat by the Wellington side. I had one hell of a time, it's rock and roll till
Welcome to the Green Tea, Freedom and Truth channel. This is Tristan. It's good to have the Green Tea team back for the Saturday, the 2nd of January 2021 edition of the video log. A big thank you and much appreciation for everyone who has liked, shared, commented and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the Green Tea team. Hope everyone had a good New Year's Eve. Wishing everyone a safe, happy and blessed 2021. And today we're going to be talking about medical tyranny. This is a phrase I heard coined by Pam Popper, Make Americans Free Again, one of the co-founders of that organization. Medical tyranny, what is it and how can we stop it? How can we stop this worldwide push for, in the guise of a medical emergency and medical tyranny? And for me, the tyranny was on full display on New Year's Eve as I watched people from around the world in different countries. They went to New York and they went to London and they showed places who would normally be having joyful community gatherings of people getting together for to celebrate the end of 2020 and the start of 2021 on New Year's Eve. And this year the tyranny of governments and elected officials stopping people getting together and exercising their human rights, their right to freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of speech. These freedoms have been taken away, tyrannically taken away, in the name of public health and safety as a medical excuse for tyranny. And these things set a precedent. If there is a precedent set that at any times a medical emergency is called, the governments can override our human rights, freedom of association, freedom of movement, these rights that are inalienably ours, and right to privacy and this sort of thing. They are setting things up so any time they decide there is a medical emergency, regardless of the facts, we are, by us acquiescing and letting it happen, because not saying anything and complying is accepting, it is giving consent. If people maybe don't quite agree or not quite sure, being silent and saying nothing and just following the rules is consenting. You are consenting to the rules they are trying to bring in. And we know that this medical situation has been brought in on the back of the PCR test that the World Health Organization has said is inaccurate and not a good sole diagnostic tool for the V word 19.
Is there a corona pandemic or is there only a PCR test pandemic? Specifically, does a positive PCR test result mean that the person tested is infected with COVID-19, or does it mean absolutely nothing in connection with the COVID-19 infection?
And we know that someone up to 80% asymptomatic positive tests can test positive and have low to no symptoms. The test is flawed. So a positive test can have nothing to do with a V word 19 infection. And this is this faulty, flawed premise of they make the test, they say what a medical emergency is, a public health emergency, then they can, if we allow it, bring in medical tyranny based on the back of medical data. And we have to say no. We have to go about our lawful business as free, sovereign beings. They cannot take away our inalienable freedoms and rights if we don't give it away. That's why they are doing the huge media push and taking away the alternative, the other side of the coin that people aren't seeing about the fatalities, how most of the people who are passing away are very elderly, have several comorbidities. They do not paint that picture in the mainstream when they are talking about the fatalities. They want us to believe that it is anyone who catches it. It'll take anyone out. It's this fear and control. So in 2021, anytime we see they are trying to scare us and control us, we know this is their playbook. We know the playbook: fear and control, to take away our rights and freedoms.
As autopsies have shown, which were carried out in Germany in particular by the forensic scientist Professor Klaus Püschel in Hamburg, the fatalities he examined had almost all been caused by serious pre-existing conditions, and almost all of the people who had died at a very old age, just like in Italy, meaning they had lived beyond their average life expectancy.
And let's make 2021 a year of freedom, a year of courage, a year of resistance, a year where our voices are heard, our actions are seen, the silent ones, free-thinking ones. Let's keep that in our minds. And it's important to know that governments should be held to account by the constituents, by the people. Anytime where the balance is out of play and the people are fearful of the government and the government is overly empowered, historically this ends up badly. You know, the German people were afraid of the Nazi government regime. The Russian people were scared of the Stalin-led communist regime. When the government becomes all powerful, this is a very negative trait. The government should be concerned and wanting to keep the people happy, because an uprising of the people, there are so few of them in power. The people keep the government honest and in check. And if we see that the test is inaccurate, we see that boundaries have been overstepped, we see that them trying to take away our guns and taking away guns of the farmers, and then in the same breath trying to give their officers guns, we have to speak up against that. They have to know that there is pushback against that. And it's about freedom and choice. If you want to wear a mask, if you want to social distance, if you want to use the communist contact tracing, if you want to stay home and not work, and any of these type of things, that is okay. Do that. It is a free country still. But I also will exercise my right, and the Green Tea team members will exercise their rights if they choose to do none of those things. If they choose to work, mix and mingle, move about freely, travel, this sort of thing. The authoritarian fear and control method, that we know that is faulty and flawed, and we are saying a hard no. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Have courage, speak your truth, support each other, have faith and have fun. Peace out. They will never take the Green Tea team's freedom!